The whale shark is the largest shark in the ocean, reaching lengths of 20 meters and weighing more than 20 tons. These majestic creatures are the gentle giants of the sea. On this episode, I catch up with the Deep Blue research team on the tiny island of Utila to learn more about these amazing animals and what's being done to protect them.
It was here in Utila about 7 years ago, and I was working for a dive company as a dive guide basically, and a whale shark came along and I was meant to be looking after all the customers, helping them in. That went out the window. I was the first guy in there, mask, snorkel on. From that day onwards I was hooked. It's the best job in the world.
His love for diving soon led to a passion for the majestic whale shark, and he's been working to preserve these gentle giants ever since.
Once I'd seen them, I found out how kind of endangered they were, how little we knew about them, and straight away I wanted to find out about them, where they were going, what they were doing, and what we could do to help. The thing is, up until the early 1980s, there had only been just over 300 recorded sightings. In Jacques Cousteau's lifetime, he only managed to see 2 whale sharks in all the time that he spent on the ocean. This is why it's so exciting. There's such an kind of discovered fish.
Thanks to Steve's passion and hard work, this tiny island now serves as a nerve center for a larger global conservation effort. Whale shark experts, marine biologists, scientists, and volunteers from around the world gather here to study whale sharks and share information on the latest data and research technology.
Well, it's absolutely great because the guys in Mexico, for instance, they are arranging this year the second International Whale Shark Conference. So there'll be people from all over the world. And again, that actually builds closer collaboration between all the countries. We can learn from all the other countries, the things that they do, and it's all of us getting together and actually learning, which is great news for the whale shark.
To see a whale shark up close and personal is an unforgettable experience. Unfortunately, the same gentle grace and enormous size that make the whale shark so fascinating have also made it susceptible to human exploitation.
We know we're affecting the oceans. We know over the years that we've put many, many chemicals in there, and we've changed certain things, even from deforestation, runoff into the oceans. At the moment, we still have no idea what effect this will have on the whale sharks.
These gentle giants face many challenges in their fight for survival, and scientists agree that a greater understanding of this mysterious animal is needed if we hope to protect it.
When we first saw the whale sharks, we were just awed. It was just such an experience to be in the water with them. And we started to look on the internet because we wanted to know more about them, and there wasn't anything. This is the largest fish in our oceans, and there is nothing about them on the internet, very, very little. We wanted to find a way to find out more, and Steve in fact came across the Ecocean site. At the time, the only data that was in the database was from Ningaloo Reef in Australia. And so we contacted them and said, look, we have whale sharks here, how can we help? We were excited by the fact that if you did put in a photo into the database, that you got feedback. And if the whale shark was seen again, then you would again get an email. So you might get an email 3 years later to say, remember that whale shark that you saw in Utila? We've now seen it again in Mexico.
In addition to the work being done by Ecocean, the Deep Blue research team has implemented a new tagging program that will provide valuable information to researchers around the world.
This is the actual receivers that we have put on strategically on different banks, where in the area where we see the whale sharks, which on Utila is usually on the southeast side, northeast side. That's mainly where we see them. So it goes from here to Belize, from Belize to the Yucatan Peninsula, to Hobart, near Hobart, Mexico, and near Isla Mujeres and all there. And we have some in the flower gardens of Texas. We have the actual tag that we're going to place on the whale shark. It's acoustic tagging. It's made of a plastic alloy, and you can see there's a little magnet on it. When we take the magnet off, then it activates it basically. It's made of titanium, so it's not detrimental to the animals. I mean, humans have titanium parts and body doesn't reject it. And this is what goes into the creature, and when you think that it has from 12 to 15 centimeters of skin, we're pretty minimal invasive. And the way we put it on the right side, down from the dorsal, very streamlined with the animals. To actually get the tag on the animal, this is a pole spear. So it's not a spear gun, it's a bit more of a slingshot kind of idea. We place the tag at the tip of it, what I do is just have the lane here, so we're in 3,000 feet of water, and then I just spring it, and all I do is release it, and that tags the whale shark. So there's two of us. One person's doing the photo identification from the gills, the proper photo identification for Acoustic.
And you're locked and loaded.
I am, absolutely, yeah. Trying to tag the right creature in the water.
And how long is this encounter, usually?
About a minute.
Yeah.
That's all we need anyway. If the whale shark's there longer, more power to us.
Scientists say that acquiring more information about whale sharks is critical.
Well, fortunately, with the aid of new technology, we're advancing at big steps. 3 to 4 years ago, we can say that a pretty small part of the whale shark knowledge was still in the process. But little by little, unfortunately, by collaborating with some other places where they are doing similar research and knowing that part of the animals, if not the whole, are being shared these locations. So they are visiting, for example, here Utila as well as Belize, as in Mexico. This is very important for us being here because the first animal that was being spotted or sighted off Mexico was here in Utila, and that was 60 days after we tagged that animal in Mexico in 2003. That repeats again in 2006, so it's a good connection in between.
I think it's very, very important that people like divers begin to take the lead in conservation and help with conservation. We're the guys, the divers, the snorkelers, that sees what is happening under the ocean. And we've seen the changes over the years. It's time, I think, for all of us to stand up. People that kind of live in the countryside somewhere, they don't see the oceans. It's up to us. It's time we stand up and do something.
After spending time with the Deep Blue research team here on Utila, one thing is clear. The future of the whale shark remains uncertain. But thanks to the efforts of conservation groups like Acoustic, Deep Blue, and others, we can forecast calm waters ahead for the gentle giants of the sea.